trying to decide on starting lineups. I mean, we have probably 8, 9, 10 that can be starters for us right now. That's another thing I think the staff and I have really done a really good job in developing. The thing that really has helped them is the system. The system hasn't changed. We just improved on it. We just enhanced on it. And we've already recruited to the system. Didn't have to go out and find kids to come in and fit our system. They were already in a system like I was coming out of high school or out of the junior college that they came out of. So it was a really good thing that they decided to come here where they can already fit into a system, and we can be able to put them in a situation to be successful here. Practice right now is a little up and down. At this time of the year, it's always crazy. Some days are better than others. But the thing we are getting consistent is competing. It's never a day where they don't want to compete with each other, and never a day where they just don't want to come in and play. I mean, they're relentless at everything we do. That involves time, score, and situation. When we have to do build-up stuff or things where we have to teach a little more, they get a little, unfocused at that time, and we have to reel them back in. But they really do a good job of staying engaged when it's time to play and with time, situation, and score, and just being competitive. And the thing that we're looking for this group is to be able to take us, surpass what we did last year, to continue to grow, to continue to build a program. We talked about these things over the last week just because we had the 2 scrimmages, and we talked about, the things that Gino have accomplished and the things that Pat accomplished before she passed, and those kind of things like that, and those people sustaining a program. And it takes being consistent every year, being competitive every year, and having high expectation every year. That's why I can go to the TABC and I can speak freely with you guys and anybody else that asks us about our expectations and goals for this year, because we expect to at least get to the Sweet 16. If you don't have those things or be able to speak it in existence, then what kind of confidence do you have in yourself and your staff and your team? By us saying that, it doesn't hurt us. We think we have that, and we think we can repeatedly have that. I gave them a stat. I think Gino has been to the Sweet 16, 16 times. 16 times straight. So when the schedule comes out every year, you can kind of go ahead and pencil them in when March comes, that they'll get to the Sweet 16. So we talked about having an opportunity to build a legacy like that around here. A lot of people can't believe that. They probably can't even begin to dream that. But we don't need the people outside of our program and our university to believe in our dream and our goals and our aspirations, because, again, they'll eventually get on board. But it starts with us, and that's where we are right now. We're just instilling confidence, building on every single day, and making sure we push them to be the best that they could be every single day. And that's on and off the court. Now take some questions.
If you have questions, please raise your hand. We'll get a microphone to you. Okay?
Ronald, I think this is year 5 now for
Yes.
you. To go back to where you started and now to be able to say that, how big of a change, and have the players and the depth and the bench and stuff, how much of a change is that for you to come in with those expectations where I think they're picking you 3rd in the conference and what is usually a really tough league?
Yeah, it's a tremendous honor for the coaches to pick us 3rd. But, just like I reminded the girls and those coaches up there, it's something that we earned. You just didn't hand it to us. And not to sound a little arrogant or anything like that, because I did get a few calls from people outside our league saying you could have handled the question a little different. But like I told them, you wasn't on the bench those first 2 years when people were beating us by 20. You wasn't on the bench with us the first year and the second year when we lost 15, 16 in a row. Those kind of things. And I haven't forgotten about those things. So, again, that's some of the things that's still driving us, myself and our young ladies and our staff, because those moments like that we don't forget. But I remember when I had my first press conference and I said the University of Houston would be in the national championship one day. And again, it's still not far-fetched, and I'm not far from it. And again, I'm telling you right now, we will get to an opportunity to be able to see that. And I'll be sitting here because, again, we work our tails off. We're being provided with everything that we need to get it done. And our expectations are not going to be lowered by anybody else's reasoning for anything just to think that we can't do it. But it feels really, really good to be where we are right now. But we have bigger and bigger goals to achieve.
Coach, who are some of the newcomers you're looking forward, expecting things from this year?
Oh, I can go down the list. Doris Jones is a JUCO kid who's 5'10", 5'11". That's real explosive. That's going to really do some wonders for us this year. She's struggling a little bit on the defensive end right now, but coming around on the offensive end, and she's getting better every day. Another newcomer is Tatiana Hill, 6'3" post player who's surprising all of us every day. She's getting better every single day. And the thing I love about her, she's relentless in all the stuff off the court. So she's in Coach Vicky's office every day for film. And if she has 20 minutes during her day, she's over here for film to try to get better. Point guard, Diamond Gladden, who's from right here in Houston, just like Tatiana Hill is. And she's really explosive. Now, Angela Harris doesn't have to play 37 minutes at the pace that we play because Diamond came from a system like that, can really shoot the basketball. She's a distributor. She's a kid that came in and said, I want to lead the country in assists every year, not just 1 year. I want to do it every year. We have another kid, but she's sitting out, and her name is Kiasia Peace. And she makes us better every day. Lefty, transferred from Michigan, 6'3", got the red shirt this year, but she's absolutely, catching on to everything we do, and she'll be a kid that next year you'll see and you'll be like, wow, let's really talk about her. But our newcomer kids are really stepping up and being able to provide some depth for us. We have a freshman, Jada, who's coming around that can really shoot the basketball from St. Louis. And I think we'll be able to use her as a zone buster and things like that, sparingly early because she's still trying to get it. But after that, I think she'll be able to join the mix with everybody else.
Coach, you talk about your big aspirations this year moving forward. How much comfort do you have in having your core back and be able to instill what you've been doing the last few years?
It's the thing that you can rest your head on at night, knowing that you have those 7 that played those significant minutes, and I can talk about Jazz and AD and Angela and Sarithia, but it's the Octavia Barnes who came off the bench last year and started some games, and we call them all by their nicknames. Julia, we call her Juju. Those kids, made the sacrifice last year coming off the bench and had the opportunity to start this year like any of the rest of them. But whatever roles that we decide to put them in, I know they'll buy into, and we'll have an opportunity to be great because, again, like you said, those aspirations are not the ones that I picked out. Those are the ones that the team talked about, and we all decided at that time.
Coach, your thoughts on Alyssa now that she's eligible to start playing, having been here for a year and getting to work with her? Obviously, everybody around these parts knows about her game, but what have you seen up close?
I'm going to tell you this right here. She probably about 2 weeks ago sent the text to me at about 10:30 at night and said, I'm ready. Because we've been struggling with her to be consistent and want to practice every day. Kids today, they do not want to practice. They do not want to practice. And so she's been struggling going up and down with practicing and being consistent. And she sent me a text and said, I'm ready. So I thought she was talking about something else, and I said, well, practice tomorrow and all this other stuff. And she's like, no, I'm ready to be what you want me to be. And I said, I'll see. We're in the morning. We're going. And we hadn't had any problem ever since. She's been here every single day, because, again, she knows from her teammates what she brings to the table, and they've just told her, if you come and be consistent, we know where we can go. But she and Maya are battling down in the post every day, and she is one of our biggest difference makers on the team where we lack the post physicality last year and depth. Now we have a little bit more depth, we have a little bit more physicality, and a little bit more versatility down there to be able to move forward.